This episode of the Mac Daddy Seminar is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is dedicated to providing you with tools for your family jewels. Pimps, it's getting colder out there, even here in Southern California. People are bundling up, wearing hoodies, pants, and forgetting all about keeping that Alabama swamp in check. Some of y'all let y'all's ball fro grow all throughout the winter months. Got your dick looking like Frank Lucas in a mink coat. It's outrageous. With tools like the Lawnmower 2.0, you can keep your Baby Yoda in check with ball wipes, and your dick and balls will smell like potpourri. Head over to manscaped.com right now to get 20% off your first order by using promo code MacDaddy20. That's manscaped.com. What's cracking, pimps? What's going on? And welcome to episode 19 of the Mac Daddy Seminar. As always, I am your host, Taylor Dunn, and as you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, we are back with the video podcast. Now, before you pass any judgment, let me just say this. I've been desperately trying to find materials that I need in order to soundproof the room that we're currently in. So if you're listening to this on the audio and you're like, why does it sound like this motherfucker recorded this in a cave? Well, it's because I'm in my garage right now. Okay? Now, I tried to add a little bit of production value, make it a little bit nicer, and I went out and I bought this sheet. Okay, bought this nice satin 1,000 thread count Egyptian silk sheet. And no, I bought like the cheapest sheet they have because they don't just sell just a sheet. You got to buy a comforter and pillowcases and all this extra shit that I don't need. So I bought the cheapest one they had. And I said, you know what? The running tradition of this podcast is to have tie-dye. So this sheet was white. May still look white in the video. I know I look fucking white, so I'm sure this sheet doesn't look a whole lot better. But I tie-dyed it multiple colors. It was going to be beautiful. It's going to look like Joseph's coat. Joseph's Coat of 1,000 Colors. You remember that movie? And I let it sit for a little bit, but then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to let it fade some. And I put it in the wash, and when I took it out, it was baby blue. Congratulations, you're having a boy. So I could either wait until I redid it, or I could just go ahead and start making more videos along with the podcast. So, once again, it's a work in progress, okay? Even the lighting in here isn't that great because it's a garage. Anyway, I'm wearing a hoodie because today is like the first day in California history that it is below 75 degrees. It was cold today. And not only was it cold, it rained. And if you hear jets and helicopters and everything, it's because I live right down the road from a military base, and they're flying them shits all day long. So, until this room is soundproofed, you're just going to hear the Vietnam War going on in the background, okay? I'm sorry. It is what it is. Welcome to the Mac Daddy Seminar, ho. I feel like this light makes me look fucking weird on this video. Either way. Anyway. So, yeah, it was cold today. Like I needed a jacket walking around. But I didn't get one because I was like, there's no way. The sun will come out and everything's going to be fine. And it was cold. And not only was it cold, but it rained For the first time since I've lived here, it rained. There it is. Y'all hear it? It rained, and that, man, I'm gonna tell you what, these California people do not know how to drive in the damn rain. They freak out when it rains, boy. Lord have mercy. I was late to work and I left early just because people were afraid to drive the speed limit. Like, it was bad. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what all happened since the last episode. A lot. So much happens on a weekly basis since we've moved out here, it's hard for me to keep up with everything. Oh, I know. If you've listened to the Mac Daddy seminar before, because I completely missed our 1 year anniversary because I'm a terrible husband. I missed our 1 year anniversary, but when I first started doing the Mac Daddy seminar and I just had the audio file on YouTube, I talked to everybody about my ear. But for those of you that don't know, in February, I was about to go do something for work and I felt like I had hardened earwax in my ear, okay? It's really gross to talk about, but I feel like I got to. So I went to the store and I bought this stuff that apparently will just basically eat your earwax. It's just this water droplets, you drop it in your ear and it gets rid of all the wax in your ear. Cool, right? I put that shit in my ear and I felt like somebody had come up behind me and hit me as hard as they could, right in my right ear. And it bothered me for about 3 weeks, to where I would lay on one side and shit would be dripping out of it. It makes everything sound real muffled on that side. Well, after a couple of months, it got better. And I felt better. But every so often, it'll come back. So I've already got a doctor's appointment scheduled. I don't know why I waited this long. Maybe it's because I'm an idiot. But I'm going to go to a doctor next week to go get it figured out why this has been happening. But yeah, everything on one side of my head is muffled. So if you're over here, all I hear is, and I'm just like, huh? You know? So yeah, and it's messing with me because like I've been doing a lot more stand-up lately, and the main thing, like, to know that you're doing okay and like you don't need to ramp up your energy or kind of pull back your energy while you're doing stand-up is the reception you're getting from the crowd. You know, if everybody's laughing real hard, then you're doing great. If everybody's just kind of then, you know, you might need to ramp it up a little bit. Well, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to soundproof the shit out of this room. I apologize, y'all, but hey, if you want the Mac Daddy Seminar videos, for right now, this is just the way it is, you know? So anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? So anyway, I got a doctor's appointment for my ear. Yeah, so anyway, my bad. So I've been doing stand-up a little bit more, and because my ear's been fucking with me, it's been messing with how I'm giving a performance. Like, to the point to where, you know, it even will like mess up my equilibrium while I'm standing up there. I feel like dizzy while I'm up on stage. So, you know, I'm not making any excuses, but, you know, it is what it is. Speaking of comedy shows, I'm just going to go ahead and plug this now. So if you're a fan of the Mac Daddy Seminar, or you're a fan of any of my previous stand-up comedy videos, and you live in the San Diego or surrounding Southern California area, this Saturday, November 23rd, I'm going to be on a student comedy showcase at the Comedy Palace here in San Diego, okay? The link for the tickets will be posted in the description, but if you listen to any of the previous episodes, you know that since I got out here, you know, comedy in San Diego, or really California, the West Coast even, is really taken a lot more seriously. There's a lot more people pursuing comedy out here, and I decided to take a class just to, you know, brush up on everything, and it would give me an excuse to write as much material as I can. And I'm here to tell you that I got my money's worth. I really had a good time with this class, but the graduation is just a comedy showcase. So it's open to the public. The tickets are only $5. And it's going to be a good show, man. It's going to be a real good show. And I hope, you know, if you listen to this, you come out, show your support. But just to go ahead and answer this question now, because every time I post a picture of me doing stand-up, or anytime I do anything with me performing anywhere, I get 9-10 messages on Facebook and on Instagram like, are you going to release a video? Are you going to release a video? No, I'm not. Because, and I've explained this before, stand-up comedy is a lot like magic, okay? Let me explain. If I was a magician and you saw me do a card trick one time that you had never seen before, it'd be pretty exciting. But then the next time you saw me, I was like, hey, check this out. And you're like, oh, well, seen you do it before. And then the next time you saw me, well, I've seen you do that before, dude. Dude, I've seen you do that. You see what I'm saying? It gets repetitive. I don't want to put out my jokes for people to see on the internet before they could have had an option to come see me do it live somewhere. I get it, a lot of these places are open mics, but, you know, if you want to come see your boy, a lot of dates are about to open up. Let me just put it like that, okay? So anyway, enough with that. Cross that off here. I'm starting to get Alzheimer's. California cornfield on a rain. Okay. So we'll go ahead and talk about this. I know this is kind of all over the place today, but you know, I'm just getting back to making the videos, so I gotta work my way back into it. So when I was 18, long story short, I was doing some stuff I shouldn't have been doing, and I got arrested, okay? Got arrested, and the cop that arrested me, which I'm not gonna say his name on here, but if you know me personally, you know who I'm talking about. The cop that arrested me was a complete ass. He could have let me go, but he didn't. And he thought he was protecting the world by, you know, getting this 18-year-old kid criminal off the streets. But long story short, we just found out that he has allegedly been stealing from the evidence locker at the police department that he still works at. Okay? He was fired and he was arrested. And I just think it is one of the funniest things that I've seen all week. I really do. I've been posting it all over my Facebook and laughing, Boolin out of control. That's my new favorite thing to say, by the way. Boolin out of control. Anybody ask me, hey, what are you doing? Boolin out of control? You know? Boolin out of control! I love saying that. My wife would be like, what are you doing, Taylor? Boolin out of control. Take a sip of my drink. You know? But, yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun with it. And look, I get it. The guy was married, or still is married, and has kids, and I really do feel sorry for them. Any family members or people that have been affected by him losing his job, I really do feel sorry for you. I'm not trying to poke fun. However, he did me dirty. Okay? And apparently he's done it to a lot of people. Every time I see anything about this guy on my Facebook, it ain't anything positive. So, I'm going to assume that he was probably an asshole to everyone. Now, he may be a great guy, probably is. I don't know him in his personal life. All I know him is as Officer blah, 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 blah. Right? And apparently, everybody, including me, thought he was an asshole. So, there you go. That's the end of that. If you're mad at me because of that, I'm sorry. Open to an opinion. Just like his opinion thought that I was a criminal when I was 18 years old. Who's the criminal now? Anyway, we'll get off that subject. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So, y'all know my friend Fanning, who I've had on previous episodes of the Mac Daddy Seminar. He's the boy that looks like he may have something wrong with him. We both live here in San Diego, and we've both worked together for the past 5 years. You know, his wife is friends with my wife, his daughter is friends with my daughter, we all hang out. But pretty much on a daily basis, we text each other and tell each other that we're going to kill one another. Just all day long. I'll be sitting at work, I'm bored, I'm sitting at my desk. I look over at my phone and I pick it up and I go over to the text messages and say, hey, I'm gonna kill you. And then we get into a day-long argument about how we're going to kill each other. He's like, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm going to fill a pillowcase with old Nokia cell phones and beat your ass to death with it. And I'm like, okay. So I am just gonna come over there and come through the wall like the Kool-Aid man. And I'm just gonna go into a gorilla rage, like Harambe. Except nobody's gonna shoot me. And we do that all day long. And I was thinking about it laying in bed last night. And I was like, what if he dies? As unfortunate as that would be. What if he passes away and they don't know how he died? Like he was murdered, but they can't find the killer. You know who the first person they're going to come and talk to is? Me. I'm already guilty. You know? And now I've been talking crap about a former police officer. Now they're going to for real take my ass to jail. Look, before anything I say offends you or upsets you or hurt your feelings, just remember, this is how it is all day long. I'm sorry. I can't do anything to stop it. It's just the way it is. I've been talking shit since 2006. Okay? All the years before that, I had a filter over everything. I don't know why I picked 2006. Maybe it's because it rhymed. But either way, I'm just joking. Okay? We're just telling funny stories, trying to make each other laugh. That's all. You like this haircut? I just got it today. I don't know how I feel about it yet. It looks weird in this camera. It looks like I got a fucking mushroom head. Dude, I went to that, I don't know if I talked about this, but when I went to that comedy show and went and saw Donnell Rawlings, he asked me if I was a cop just because of my haircut. I'm so sick and tired of people thinking I'm a fucking cop. I'm not. I'm gonna have to be a criminal to make people know that I'm not a cop. Or either that, or they're gonna think I'm an undercover cop. But at least if I was an undercover cop, I could be cool like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Departed. That's the coolest undercover cop ever. If you know a better movie than The Departed about undercover cops, send it to me because I wanna watch it. I love The fucking Departed, man. I might go inside and watch it as soon as I'm done recording this podcast. I was laying in bed last night and I was watching TV and my wife came upstairs and she was like, Taylor, you have ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm like, what? She's like, it is freezing in this house. And I just look at her and I go, I know. And that's the way I like it. My daughter sleeps in pajamas like it's Christmas morning every night because I keep it cold. Okay? This room is not connected to the inside of the house, but I'm still gonna need these sweatpants and this hoodie when I walk inside. Just because I'm not under the covers yet. Okay? I'm gonna be bundled up, son. And that's what I like to do. I like to lay in the bed and get in and go, shit, I'm cold. And then just cocoon myself in the comforter and just lay there and go to sleep. Because my body heat is just soaking into that comforter and radiating back to me. That's what I'm all about, you know? And yeah, I keep it like negative 37 degrees in the house. Like and that's the crazy part is too, like I used to hate my stepdad for that when I was a kid because I weighed nothing. I literally weighed like 57 pounds until I was like 14 years old. But I would be walking around the house and I'd be just shaking from being so cold. And he would never let us touch the thermostat. And I'd be like, hey, can we please cut the heat on? He'd be like, no. And he'd be like sitting there in nothing but boxer briefs on the couch, just. And I'm like, dog, it is cold in here. And now I get it, you know? That's crazy. I'd be looking at him like begging him, like, can we please cut the heat on? And he would just go, nope. Be sitting there drinking an ice cold glass of Diet Coke and have a little bit of sweat on his lip right here because he was still hot. And I'd be freezing. It's ridiculous. I'd beg him, please, can we cut the air conditioner on? I love living here, man. Every single day is like being on a vacation. I wish I could be humble about it. Trust me, I really do. Let me know in a year how that's working out because right now, I'm out here walking on sunshine. I love it. I have probably said it every single episode, but this place is great. I love it, man. I just can't get over it. I want to complain about stuff so I have stuff to talk about on this podcast, but I just can't. It's like if somebody makes me angry or I get fed up with someone aggravates me, I'm just like, oh, well, I live in San Diego, Also, I'm glad I thought of that too. We went down to the outlets at the border, which is about 15 minutes from where we live. And you just drive down like the 805 going south for like 5 minutes from our house. And there's an outlet mall. Well, right on the other side of that outlet mall is the goddamn U.S.-Mexico border. Like that big gate is right there. And you're just like, damn, that's Mexico. Well, we go over there and there's just so many people. That's one thing I don't like about here. If you go anywhere on the weekend, Dog, that scared the shit out of me. I don't know if that was my wife flushing the toilet or something, but I thought that was a goddamn ghost. I thought I was done for it. I was about to get it on camera, y'all. I'm sorry. Anyway. So yeah, but it was right on the border. And I was just like, oh shit. Because, if you go anywhere on the weekends, you might as well not even go because there's so many people there. You're not going to be able to move around like you need to correctly. It's that bad. So we ended up just leaving. We ended up coming back home. I'm sorry that story wasn't more eventful, but I tell you what, being that close to the border, it definitely made me want to learn some damn Spanish. Eventually, we're going to go over into Tijuana. We're just waiting for the right time. It's not exactly a place, I don't know for sure, but I just don't know if it's a place that I can take my wife and my 3-year-old daughter. I might have to go scope it out first. But, yeah. One last thing I want to talk about is college football right now. So as we all know, we are nearing the end of the regular season with college football. The playoff is upon us. My team, Auburn, is out of the picture. They're done. They had 3 losses. Lost to Georgia this past weekend. Pretty much the most pathetic game we've had all year. And, it is what it is. We lost. That's it. We're done. Get us another coach. Been saying it for like 3 years now. And just to touch on that real quick, if you're an Auburn fan who all you care about is beating Alabama at the end of the season, go ahead and cut this video off, bruh. That's not the end-all, be-all. We can beat Alabama and them still come back and win a national championship. They've done it before. They did it in 2017. The 2 teams that we beat, we were their only loss for the season. They played for the national championship. How upsetting is that? You don't really get bragging rights like, oh, well, we still beat you. Okay, well, I won a national championship. That's literally like you beating up a kid in the 3rd grade and then he becomes a fucking trillionaire. And he's out here flexing out by the pool with 900 supermodels. He doesn't even got to stand up and walk from the jacuzzi. They carry him to the bedroom. And you're like, well, you remember I beat you up in the 3rd grade. Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, I'm going to throw this fucking stack of money out at you and break your nose. Because that's how little of a care I have in the world about you beating me up in the 3rd grade. Man's Boolin out of control. You know? God, I'm never going to stop saying that. I want that etched into my tombstone. Here lies Taylor Dunn. I want it to say January 19th, 1994, and instead of that dash, I want it to say bulled out of control, and then the date that I died. So you knew the entire time I was alive, I was bulling out of control. Anyway, God. Anyway, so yeah, Auburn got beat by Georgia. It was pretty sad. Alabama beat the shit out of Mississippi State, but unfortunately, Tua Tagovailoa dislocated his hip and broke his nose. Now, I'm not passing judgment. This was just my initial reaction, okay? But he's already had surgery this season on his leg. If you're beating Mississippi State by 35 points, why is he still in the game? And then people were like, oh, well, he wanted to run the 2-minute drill a few more times and get more practice. Okay, that's fine. Do that at practice then, when you don't have a 300-pound defensive lineman trying to kill your ass. So I'm sorry, but I do not see the reasoning behind it. I hope he's okay. He's a phenomenal athlete. I have no hard feelings for him just because he plays for Alabama. I think he is a great athlete. I wanted him to win the Heisman last year. Same way I love Jalen Hurts. The fact that he plays for Alabama is irrelevant. I don't wish anybody to have anything like that happen to him. And because you know what's going to happen now? If Auburn somehow miraculously beats Alabama in the Iron Bowl this year, you know what everybody's going to say? Oh, well, it's because we didn't have Tua Tagovailoa. So I would much rather him play and then beat the shit out of Alabama. Or, no, sorry. Alabama beat the shit out of Auburn. Then Auburn barely beat them and then have an excuse. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely hope he has a fast recovery, man. Definitely want to see that guy next year. Or maybe he'll go into the draft, you know? It just depends. I wish the best for him, you know? Seems like he's taking it pretty well. Definitely was putting up some numbers this season. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up, guys. As always, I appreciate all of you listening. Look, this podcast is only going to get bigger the more effort y'all put into it. It's as simple as that. Okay? Follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, all of that. It's just my name, ___, right? I'll be at the Comedy Palace November 23rd. Mark your calendars if you want to come see me perform live. Tickets are only $5, and the link is posted in the description of this video. Guys, I really appreciate the support, and I will see you next week. This episode of the Mac Daddy Seminar is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is dedicated to providing you with tools for your family jewels. Pimps, it's getting colder out there, even here in Southern California. People are bundling up, wearing hoodies, pants, and forgetting all about keeping that Alabama swamp in check. Some of y'all let y'all's ball fro grow all throughout the winter months. Got your dick looking like Frank Lucas in a mink coat. It's outrageous. With tools like the Lawnmower 2.0, you can keep your Baby Yoda in check with ball wipes, and your dick and balls will smell like potpourri. Head over to manscaped.com right now to get 20% off your first order by using promo code MacDaddy20. That's manscaped.com.